What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here, AQUA Life Baby. You already know how it is. And today, guys, I want to bring you guys a deck profile on my 7 Seas Granblue deck. As you guys know, I'm all about that AQUA Life, and I really haven't included Granblue into that, probably until now in a way. I'm just not a Granblue player. And for the longest time, I know I'm kind of late with this 7 Seas deck, and I know they got support a while ago. But Granblue just wasn't playable, wasn't competitively playable. It just was not. But now they are with their support. And so when I picked up the deck and whatnot, but I still wasn't really a player, so I didn't really play it as much. But recently I've been just branching out, playing different clans, different decks and things like that. With playing this deck, it's actually pretty fun. It's a really good early game, pretty nice late game. You can tech it out a little bit. I do have this and Night Rose, and I can say about the difference between them is Night Rose is a little bit slower in the early game, but it's really good when you get to striding. But it's more technical than this deck. This deck is more straightforward, I want to say. But yeah, so there is some disparity between both decks. But as you know, Night Rose is getting its own support, future sets. So yeah. Again, I don't really play with the deck, but, recently, I've been playing with you guys, saw the match video and whatnot. It's been pretty fun, and I'm going to just, keep working on this deck and see, how far I can take it for right now. All right, but let's get into the deck profile. All right, guys, so, again, like I said, when I come to the changes I want to make to the deck, I'll let you know. The starter is going to be Undying Departed Greenwich. So what it does is that it has the hollow ability, and the hollow is when you call it to the rear guard circle, you can put in the hollow ability, and at the end of the turn, it kills itself. But when he's at GB1, when he's in hollow and and you put into the drop zone from the hollow ability, you get to unflip 2. So really good, really good. Definitely a card Granblue needed to manage their combos, especially with all their new units and whatnot. Definitely a fantastic card to help them in their with their combo management. I know I was playing Peter the Ghosty before and teching Greenwich in, but Peter the Ghosty was fine, but I think Greenwich just gives you more value and it opens up space in your deck just to run other options, without having him as a tech card. And it's easy to get into the drop zone too. 4 heal triggers. I like that heal trigger. 4 Rusty's Banshee. Banshee's a very, very good card. You put it into the soul and you draw 1. It's the what's it called? The bird from OTT. Not Luckbird. I can't think of his name, but yeah, you just put it into the soul and from rear guard and you draw 1 card. This card is really good early game. So charge, try and dig through your deck, find what you need, and also sets up your Dancing Cutlass plays. So, very nice card. And then finish off the trigger lineup with 12 criticals. I don't want to play. I tried to stand. The stand didn't really work out for me. This deck, again, like I say, from pretty much all Granblue decks, you need to kill your opponent. They don't really have a finisher. So, and Night Rose is not really a finisher. And I'll get to that when I get to her, but, with the 12 crit, it's just, it's aggressive. The deck already has a pretty nice advantage engine and being able to build up hand and maintain hand because you're calling stings from the drop zone. So, the 12 crit just adds to the aggression of the deck and really, makes it kind of pirate-like. One Piece. That's my favorite anime. One Piece is like my top 3 anime, so yeah. All right, on to grade 1. Alright, so grade 1's 4 copies of the Water Spout Djinn Unflipping Perfect Guard. Fantastic to have in this deck. Just, again, the more combos you have, the more combos you can do. 4 Stride Enablers. This deck is a bit more of a Stride base in a way too. Even though it has a lot of non-GB, this is more of a Stride based deck. So, want to be able to Stride. And then I'm playing 4 copies of Dancing Cutlass. I've seen builds where they run anywhere between 3 to 4 copies a day, because the reason why I'm running 4, at least for right now, this is subject to change, to maybe 3, but the reason why I'm running 4 is because, I want to see this card early game. I want to see it pretty, early and often in a way, and it's very good. You can get this card off multiple times during the game, but you really want to draw it early because you can build so early. Soul Charging with Banshee, then calling this card out. Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Call this in the drop zone. Soul Blast 2, draw 1. This is just a really good card overall, and 4 has been working really nicely. I'm seeing it early off, even if it's a 5k booster. I mean, who cares? You can kill it off with this next card if you need to. Nightcrow, who's a 7k booster. So from his ability in the drop zone is you choose one of your rear guards not named this Nightcrow, retire it, and you can call him. And if you have a Vanguard 7Cs, you call him to the board. Again, you can retire him off to put a 7k booster on your board and clean your board out of hitting better numbers. So this guy's really good to see early game and can make different combo plays. Even putting him behind your Vanguard is good. And then this guy just makes a lot of plays on the rear guard circle when it comes to boosting and whatnot. All right, on to grade 2. All right, so grade 2 is where I really want to change up a lot of things, but I'll give it to you anyways. 3 copies of Slash Shade. So what it does is that when your Vanguard attacks, and if you have a Vanguard with when your 7C's Vanguard attacks, you can counterblast 1, retire a grade 1 or greater rear guard. Superior, call him to the board, and he gets an extra 2,000. Very good for extra poke attacks, extra attacks and whatnot. You can swing with like Negro Rook for 16, and then retire Nigger Rook off, call him, and then, swing with him in a boost. You can stack triggers on him. I mean, he does make a lot of plays. Oh, excuse me. Very nice card. Then 3 copies of Skeleton Cannoneer. So what it does is it has the hollow ability, and when it's placed in the rear guard circle from your drop zone, you can counterblast 1. And if you do, you choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it, and if he's in the hollow state, you get to draw a card. So on call, gets to pop a unit. Very nice card for added some control, and he gets to give you a card. He gets to give you a card back, which is also very good for counterblast. Again, certain times you do want to be using him to pick off certain things that you really need to hit. Really good on your first stride against Gear Chronicles if they haven't already sent off their Chronodran to pop their Chronodran or pop their TikTok worker. Even though they can put it back with Uluru, it's still good to not let them have that card available to them readily. When they go into their Phoenix and whatnot. And then 2 copies of Columbard. Columbard's a pretty nice card. It's the Amber Cone of the deck. When it attacks upon its Vanguard, you counterblast 1 when you boost it, and you get to superior call a card from your drop zone. You can call the card over a unit, which is very good. So he allows multiple attacks during the battle phase. And he doesn't have the hollow ability, so he's a unit that generally stays on the board, which is good. In most cases, pretty good. And then 2 Negro Rooks. Now I'm going to increase Negro Rook to 4. I just need to find 2 more copies of Negro Rook, whether it's, somebody who has them, or I might just have to order them for like, a few cents or whatever it is. I definitely want to play 4 Negro Rook. He's definitely an all-star in this deck. I think I'll be cutting out I'll just be cutting him out for it, and in a cut list. Probably going to cut out him and a cut list so I can put 4 in here. But Negro Rook's amazing. It has hollow ability, and when he attacks, he's an 11k attacker at GB1, and if he's in hollow, he gets an extra 5k. So he's a 16k attacker when he attacks and he's in hollow, 11k attacker if you don't put him in hollow. Still just an outstanding card. And then I play 1 Earth Elemental Poker. Now, the reason why I play poker is because I can send him to the drop zone through the Ghosties, Ghosty Stride's ability. And the reason why he's there is just to have, again, you can tech out Granblues. Granblues is you can pretty tech them out because you can, send to the drop zone, superior call when you need to. And he's good against Link Joker. So you have a face-up Cray Elemental. When you call him to the board, you Soul Blast 1, and you get to unlock one of your locked cards. Again, he's just a card to send to the drop zone for Ghost or whatever, and just be ready and available just in case you go up against Link Jokers. You want to unlock a card and continue your combos. Even though the battle against Link Jokers, is not exactly hard. The hardest thing. unlike some other decks and whatnot, because we're, you know, constantly killing things off, and once they burn out of their universes, then they really rely on us having a board. But again, this guy is just a nice tech card to help, you know, fight against that type of control. Otherwise, he's just a vanilla 9K that's just in there just to say hi. All right, and on to grade 3. All right, and for grade 3, I'm playing 4 copies of the main man, Night Mist. Very good card. Pretty much the leader in the way of this deck in a way. So what he does is he's a break ride unit, limit break 4. When you break ride, when your unit rides on top of him and you're at 4 damage, obviously, your Vanguard gets 10,000 power. Then you choose up to 2 Granblue units from your drop zone, call to the rear guard circle, and they get 5,000 till the end of turn. And then when the turn ends, you kill them. Otherwise, that he has the continuous ability that if the number of your Granblue rear guards you have is 4 or more, he gets an extra 2k when he attacks, and he has the Lord ability. But really, his break ride skill is very good. Break riding Plagueton over him to get the superior call, then Plagueton's ability to get the next superior call, and then you're being able to stride. It's pretty powerful play, or just break riding him in general is pretty nice play. You know, he's been the best unit in best of grade 3 in Granblue for a long time. Night Rose, with her new support coming out later on down the line, definitely can overtake this card because he has a break ride, so he does require to have nothing. Can definitely overtake or you know, and or match this card in a way. So yeah, it's a very nice card. And then 3 copies of Plagueton. Only running 7 grade 3s. I've gotten to this movement of running 7 grade 3s. The rear guards in this deck are extremely important, and I feel like this deck, you know, once you can get a grade 3 in your hand, you know, you can just go off, do what you need to do. You know, the break ride combo is, you know, really good and it's cute and all, but, you know, again, you can multi-break ride him or break ride him over him. You know, it is what it is with that. But in 7 grade 3s really hasn't affected me much. I'm experiencing that same effect in Aqua Force 7 grade. You know, my rear guards are, again, really important to me, and I hate, you know, not seeing a certain one, whatnot. And there's times where I'm running 8 grade 3s and I still get great, you know, and I still get great locked at 2. So yeah, 7 grade 3s really has not been affecting me. That, you know, has not really been affecting me in terms of the consistency and being able to stride and, you know, getting my ride targets. But yeah, so Plagueton's very good. The beginning of your, or not very, I guess he's okay. It's actually pretty good. In the drop zone, you can counterblast to the beginning of your ride phase if you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with 7 Cs in its card name. You pay that cost and you can ride him as stand. So if you send him to the drop zone, somehow he gets to drop zone, like you damage him and then you heal him off. You get to call him just so you have a grade 3. Again, pretty nice. And then when he's placed in the Vanguard circle, you choose it to 1 card from your drop zone, call it your rear guard at the end of that turn, retire it. So he gives you a card. He gives you a card to call out, you know, when you ride him. So he definitely helps start that chain. You know, you call out your Dancing Color, Soul Blast 2, draw. You can call out Negro Rogue. You know, you can call out Greenwich, put him in hollow. You know, so different things you can do with him. All right, and on to Stride Deck. All right, Stride Deck is pretty odd in a way. I'll let you know this. 2 of the Deep Corpse Dragon, the G Guardian. When you put in the guard circle, you can mill 2, send 2 cards from type of deck, drop zone, mill 2, and he gains 5,000 shield. So very easy to get him to 31k. Then I'm playing 1 Dismal and 1 Screw. Dismal more or less to protect Columbard and maybe a Negro Rook if I want on the board. Really just protect a card that I might want to stay on the board if need be. And Screw because it's Screw and it's an amazing G Guardian. 36k just to discard. I could discard a 3 guard for 36. I mean, Screw is amazing. And then I'm running 1 Sea Breeze. The reason why I'm running Sea Breeze, guys, is because I do have GB cards in this deck. I can get Greenwich. I can, get Greenwich off. I can get, bring back Greenwich when I need to be. If I'm at GB1 to unflip those 2 damage. And, some people, again, playing the grade 2 game, I can play it in this deck, but Sometimes I'd rather ride to 3, get my triple drive off, and that definitely puts on a lot more pressure. One Blizza. Blizza more or less is for poker in a way, and the Link Joker matchup. If if you don't have poker in drop zone, you never call him out. It's a nice singular card. You can use him to flip him and then swing. It's just overall, it's a pretty nice card to have. But again, I don't go into him in this deck. He's just there for poker. He's really just there for the Link Joker matchup. Otherwise, you won't see him. 2 copies of the Great King Obadiah. Obadiah. I call him Obadiah. Really good card. So when you're on stride, you get to look at you can look at 3. You can pretty much look through your deck, send 3 cards from your deck to the drop zone, and if you sent 2 or more units with the hollow ability, you can superior call a normal ghosty. So you can superior call the ghosty stride enabler, to the board. And if you're playing Peter the Ghosty, you can superior call that Peter the Ghosty back to the board. So very nice card, filters out the decks. Pretty nice late game too, being able to send things out so you could probably possibly hit more triggers, see where you're at, whatnot. 2 copies of Bandit Rum, just the vanilla on a hit superior call card from the drop zone, and it gets 2,000 power. And then 2 copies of Miss Phantom Pirate King Night Rose. So Night Rose is not a finisher, and I can't stress that enough. The reason why I'm saying it's not a finisher is because she doesn't gain any extra power. She doesn't have guard manipulation, doesn't get an extra crit. The units that you call out don't gain any extra power, don't gain any unique skills or anything like that. What she does is you counterblast 2, and when she attacks, and you can superior call up to 2 units to 2 different rows. So 1 row, 2nd row. She pretty much creates a new column in a sense. So you can't attack with one, call 2 units out the front row, then boost an attack with them. You have to call them out to separate rows. But my thing is that she has a very heavy cost for enabling a extra attack, and doesn't gain anything. I've compared her to Olivia in a sense. Baby girl Olivia right here. Love Olivia. Oh my gosh. Because Olivia, you counterblast 1, you bounce units to your hand, and you call to 2 separate columns. For Olivia, it's just columns. So you can call 1 here, 1 here, or we'll call them to the front row, 1 to the front row, 1 to the back row. Excuse me. So literally separate rows in a sense. This one just specified it way. But Olivia gains an extra critical. She doesn't give any extra power, but she does gain extra critical. She can bounce cards back for defense, and things like that. With this card, you attack, and she only costs 1 counterblast. For this card, you counterblast 2, so 1 more, to do the same effect pretty much the same effect in calling, 2 new units. But no extra power, no extra crit, things like that. She's a nice card. She can definitely, really push your opponent late game and I guess finish them off. Late game when your opponent's at 4 or 5 and, you can come at them with multiple attacks. It's pretty nice. But her cost is very heavy. And, Granblue doesn't have exactly too much finish. She's probably a really good mid-game card and can be a good late-game card, but she's not that ideal finisher. Not restanding, no crits, no guard manipulation, things like that. That's what I see in a finisher, in a way. And extra power to units or herself. And then I have Loved by the Seven Seas, the Night Mist Stride. I go into him, just extremely often. Very good. So what he does is his act ability, you counterblast 1. If you have a hard card with 7 Seas, you superior call. Choose up to 2 units from drop zone, superior call them to separate rearguard circles, and then at the end of the turn, you pretty much kill them. So yeah, very simple. Easy to get off, and yeah. So that's my 7 Seas deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing more deck profiles coming soon. I'm going to make some improvements to this deck. You might see this in a card fight here soon. So just stay tuned. AQUA Life Baby, and we out. Peace.